We continue our coverage of St. Croix's Limetree Bay refinery and efforts to ensure the oil refinery is operating safely. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett is speaking out about the Limetree Bay refinery shutdown. Our Washington correspondent Matt Knadler sits down one-on-one with Congresswoman Plaskett to learn more about what's next.
Well, thanks again for the time. I'll pick up with the Limetree Bay refinery issue. I guess
Yes.
if you could just give me a general sense of what you're hearing from the federal level to reopen the facility.
Sure. We've had some discussions with EPA as well as with the leadership of Limetree Bay to get a sense of what the EPA is expecting, the response of Limetree at this time. I'm pleased that the EPA recognizes that they have a responsibility to ensure that the refinery is operating in a safer manner for not only the residents in the area, but the workers, excuse me, but also for our long-term, the welfare and environment of the Virgin Islands and specifically St. Croix. And they're trying as much as possible to work with Limetree to ensure that that is done appropriately. What they've expressed to me is that the Virgin Islands has made a decision that they want a refinery in that location. And it's their job to ensure that if a refinery is operating, that it's operating appropriately. At the same time, in the conversations that I've had with Limetree, they've expressed disappointment that they have had these mishaps, recognizing that this is not something that ideally they would like to happen. The malodors, the flames, the flarings that are going on, as well as many of the mishaps that have happened in the startup of the refinery. They're troubling to Limetree, they're troubling to me, and they're especially troubling to the Environmental Protection Agency. And so we're all working as much as possible to ensure that if the refinery continues to operate, that it does so safely. The other thing that I'm really pleased about is that EPA is not only set up a hotline, a specific hotline just for residents of St. Croix. They also have someone that is there on the ground that is a resident of St. Croix that is working with them, someone who's come from the main office at EPA. They are evaluating the monitors that are in place, making sure that they are, in fact, they're doing an assessment to make sure that they're in the right locations to continue the monitoring. And, they're going to hold Limetree to the consent decree and to doing what's right for the people of St. Croix. So I'm going to continue to monitor that and to see what happens with that. We recognize that there's been some change in the structure of ArcLight, the owners of Limetree. And so our office is evaluating what does that mean specifically to the people of the Virgin Islands. We don't want to find ourselves in the same position we were in 2012, where we were caught off guard when Hovensa decided that they wanted to close.